you ought to let me see it for an hour and say, Keen, and you know it's not your school, right? But I had the opportunity to share that with them and ask them how they felt about themselves. And it was all focused on how you feel about yourself. I asked them a series of questions, and at the end they said, I never looked at it like that perspective. I never took the time to talk about me and how I saw me and the things that I could do to make me better, right? And as adults, we need to stop talking to children, telling them what we think they should be doing, and asking them what you want to do. Who you are, where you want to go, what's your direction, and then try to help them get there. But sometimes this guidance looks at the correct if you ask a question. If you don't know you need help, you don't say so, right? And if your parents are talking to you, not just like talking at you, telling you what you should be doing, it's okay to say, Mom, let's talk about what I do. To have that guidance. Okay, now I'm step off the soapbox. I'm going to get this education panel going because people are coming in and I'm excited. Okay? Okay. Thank you all for listening.
Talk hip-hop? Talk about hip-hop.
It is the salary on how much they made when created the CD, they created the file. I usually sit in the master room or somebody's computer. And at some point, someone said, oh, I was just saying you file, you got a computer, don't you? You don't need a hard copy. And the music sharing started, and people stopped buying CDs. But the music kept going. The format has died, of CDs has died, but people still make music. People still performing, people still sampling, people still doing everything that they do around music. It's just that the business of selling you a record has changed.
What about content?
Content, well, you know what? That's a question we have. Thank you.
I want to talk about content.
I want to bring my team up here. But, you know, he had a couple of records out in the 90s. And through the brand that Tara was on, we got introduced to Qadiriyyah Live-DSR of Channel 5, which was great because Tara was fun with somebody that you want to listen to, somebody that you want to recommend. Okay? And when I first got into the music business, I was doing radio actually, and on the internet. And my partner, Nicole, and I created this idea for a show, which was hip-hop politics. We wanted to use the hip-hop format, or we wanted to talk about real issues, and play the music in the background. Because we know, right? So when we like to listen to street soldiers, but it was kind of dry, it was dry. Sometimes it was hot, but it wasn't as good as what I had in mind. So we thought about something hockey, and we wanted to call it the illegal broadcast because that was different. So that's a little bit right now because it's been IBC. And that show ran for a year, and it was awesome. Really good. We ran for 2.5 years. We did topics on gun violence. We did a show on Leah. We did a show about Biggie. That was an interesting show. We did a show about hip-hop and theater. So even back in the late 90s, we were talking about hip-hop curriculum. This is when hip-hop curriculum started to show up. But I invite my kids here today because we have a panel called WTF.
Tapping the hip hop.
Tapping the hip hop. And if anyone knows what tapping the hip hop is, this girl right here. Because he lives it and he studies it. Right? And also, back at that time, I came with a teacher, third grade teacher, right? Junior high school teacher. So, you know, I was like, he's an MC, he's a teacher. Okay. So, thanks. I hate being here.
Yeah. I'm going to bypass the mic.
Yeah.
Because this is where that goes. Yeah. So, what happened to hip hop? Nothing. Hip hop is fine. Hip hop is alive. Hip hop is well. Hip hop is doing absolutely positive, wonderful things year in, year out, all around the world. We got the Universal Station coming up November 8th to 13th. We've been running for the last 37, 38 years. We've got Rock City Region that happens every year. And in New York, New Jersey for the last 7 to 8 years. You have Rock the Bells, which is one of the probably the biggest money-making concert tours out with nothing but what we consider real hip-hop or underground music. People tens of thousands of people go to these concerts, 40, 50,000 people paying $200 a pop to see real hip-hop, or what we consider to be real hip-hop. Hip-hop is breakdancing, hip-hop is graffiti, hip-hop is law, hip-hop is accounting, hip-hop is medicine, hip-hop is not what we do, hip-hop is how we do it. It's that little something special we put on things that make things fly. Like, you know how they say that the economy's all messed up, the economy's going down the tubes? The economy would have messed up about 15 years earlier if it wasn't for hip-hop. Because the things that we do, when we touch something and put our spin on it, everybody else around the world wants it. You go to Japan, they want to look like you. You go to Africa, they want to look like you. You go to Europe, they want to look like you. They want to dress like you. They want to be you. You turn on the TV, every car commercial, every food commercial, every clothing commercial is dressed in hip-hop. Who created hip-hop? Us. We create hip-hop. But we don't control the business of hip-hop. Now, we say what's wrong with hip-hop, we're really talking about what's wrong with the music business. Or better yet, what's wrong with America. Because how we see America, we reflect it in our art. And the music business makes money off of our pain, our struggle, our voice, our vision. We keep the same old story going while they're making money off of our misery. All right, go back. You brought up jazz, rock and roll. The word rock and roll came from our parents and foreparents being intimate in cars. Rock and roll. It's what black people were doing in the 40s and the 30s. Now, by the 50s, rock and roll became what white boys and white girls were doing. By the 60s, 70s, we don't even own rock and roll. We don't even know our connection to rock and roll. Rock and roll is something white people do. When you turn on the TV and you look at hip-hop, all these car commercials, it's white girls rock. White girls rap. Look at all these dance shows. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, as long as we respect the culture. But what's wrong is we don't understand our impact on the world. We fail to we keep thinking about rappers, not accountants, we need marketers, we need advertisers, we need lawyers, we need doctors to understand how to relate to our people in language called hip-hop. So we can own ourselves. There's nothing wrong with hip-hop. Hip-hop is just the way we express ourselves. The people who are hip-hop, they're doing fine. They're doing well. It's okay. It's not a problem. People who are caught up in Western capitalist American culture, they have a problem. Hip-hop was born in, we say, 1972, 1973. But really, hip-hop is ancient. It's the way we've always expressed ourselves. As old as man is, we've related to each other in a certain way. We now call that way hip-hop. Was it always called hip-hop? It used to be bebop, it used to be jazz, it used to be different words that we call how we relate to each other. Now we call it hip-hop. Nothing wrong with hip-hop. There's something wrong with it. America, the culture, the nation that we're raised in, you know what? Be back.
I was going to say, I have a question.
Angel, all right, what's your question?
Culturally, like you say, people, they need to respect our culture, like the culture of hip-hop, right? So what happens when it's us within the culture who aren't respecting it? So I think when the topic of what WTH happened to hip-hop came about, it was because who's recognizing what our culture is? The individual who actually in it, partaking in it, being in it. Like, and I won't name any particular artists, but there are a lot out there who are putting out false information as it pertains to what's really happening in our world and how we live. But my kids don't know that. Your children don't know that. So something is wrong with hip-hop if I allow my child to partake in that. And she actually, that's why I think the Lupe Fiasco video is amazing. I think it's awesome because it was true to fact, because kids spend more time on the internet engaging in things that they see, some things we don't even know about. Even with parental controls on computers and televisions, they have access to it on something as simple as a TV commercial, like you're saying, white boy, white girl, whoever, who's rapping. It's not always a positive image out. That's what happened. What happened to that? What happened to the culture of loving it when it was jazz and blues and bebop and we took pride in who we are? What happened to that?
If I can, answer it, of course, man. I'm going to be here looking for this brother's contribution, to hip-hop, man. I mean, and every time he says that, like, I get a chill because of the beat. Just respect, like, so my name is Qadiriyyah. I'm an MC. I'm kind of like, I mean, and really what's happening now in hip-hop, it is lyricism and, respect for the culture and the craft is really coming back, you know what I'm saying? But I agree with Akeem, it really hasn't left. The culture is alive, the culture is thriving. It's just that you don't see it in mainstream music. And really what you call, what people relate to as rap music today is really pop music. It's not really hip-hop, it's pop music. And because it's made to be popular, what happened to it, if you ask me, like, what happened to hip-hop, it was really the same thing that happened to our community and really America as a whole is corporations have bought it and are really sucking the life out of it. So the corporate control over hip-hop, what you see on the mainstream, to get a video on MTV or BET, you got to go through Viacom.
Right.
To get a song, and so that's a major designer corporation. We all know BET is not black owned no more. Viacom owns BET and MTV and VH1. To get a song on the radio today, mainstream radio, most of the radio stations are owned by Clear Channel, one corporation. And Clear Channel is actually owned by Bain Capital, which was Mitt Romney's corporation, you know what I'm saying? For his president. Obviously got issues with So when you're talking about, so when you see that product placed to you, and it's really, like I said, I don't really blame the artist. You know what I'm saying? Because here's an artist, here's somebody who's yelling 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
So 2 Chainz, 4.0 student.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you ever heard an interview, 2 Chainz is a very intelligent person. But 2 Chainz has to exist in an industry that's corporate control that says we only want to market a particular image of black men.
Okay, question. So what's the difference between that and blackface?
Hold on. Let me, if I can finish a little bit. So here's 2 Chainz saying like, well, I love, rap music. I want to be famous. I want to make it. So then, just like you said, at what cost?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a personal responsibility. You know what I'm saying? But to me, to kind of go at 2 Chainz or Rick Ross, who really did the same thing, or Plies, who was valedictorian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne went to one of the school he went to in New Orleans. You had to take a test to get into. It was like you know what I'm saying? Most academically advanced high school in New Orleans. These are intelligent people. You know what I'm saying? But the industry then comes and says, or even you had a case where a rapper, Young Buck, wrote a song about police brutality. And Interscope Records said, no, we can't put that song out because that could encourage violence against police. But yet, Young Buck is talking about killing other brothers all day. You know what I'm saying? So I think, to me, you know what I'm saying, part of what we have to do is call out the real powers behind, you know what I'm saying, the market. Because it is just, I did a song called Just a Mention. And it is just like blackface. And if you watch Bamboozled, which I would encourage you to watch that movie, these brothers was homeless, they was in the hood, and they just wanted that American dream that they promote to us all the time. They weren't really the bad guys. It was an industry and a culture that said, we want to accept this image of black men, this is what we promote. But then, of course, in the mix of it, they have certain feelings when they see themselves being exploited.
But to me, it's almost like saying ignorance is sexy. It's like saying, I'm trying to be, I want to have all these things, right? I come from poverty. I want to put my mama in the house. So all these things that I want to do, I want ice, I want a big car, I want to be the bomb in my neighborhood, whatever it may be. I'm selling my soul for that. right? So once I sign this contract and I sell my soul, then I get a conscience. Then I start to talk about the corporations made me do it. It's no longer sexy to be intelligent. Why can't we? Because from my standpoint, I feel like we spend a lot of time saying we took off the man and now we made it the corporation. So it's no longer the man did it to us. Now all these corporations are stabbing us, right?
There are names attached to it.
Okay, I'm sure there are many names attached to that corporation. Okay, we'll say 3, 4, it could be even 2. How do we change the dynamics of the way of thinking of our people to say, I have a 4.0. I had to take this test to get into this school. Why can't I make that sexy? There are all these outlets, especially with the internet. There's Ustream, all of those things that you can put out your own information to let young people know this is, you know, you stay on Ustream at night. I watch you on a tour all the time. So there are all these platforms that you can use to let individuals know, here I am and here's what I have to offer from an intellectual standpoint, and I still rap, and I'm still from the hood, and I'm still gutter. I don't have to sell my soul to be a rapper so I can put my mama in a house. That's my point.
The question is not what's wrong with hip-hop. It's what's wrong with America.
Say that again, please.
The question isn't what's wrong with hip-hop. The question is what's wrong with America. We keep framing it as hip-hop is doing, and it's really the American capitalist structure and how it's locked to banks and how the banks are constantly pushing the agenda. We know programming is propaganda. We're being programmed. But that's not only the radio, it's school, it's religion, everything is in lockstep to promote an agenda. Now, what can we do, in my opinion, is pull out of the corporation, right? In the way that we deal with each other, right? We can't do it all at once. That's not that simple, but there are little things that we can do, and we're doing, right?
This is proof, right?
This is proof. We spend too much time saying what's wrong, and not enough time going, here's what's right, right? I'll give you an example. The last 2 years I've been doing an event in New York, New Jersey, 24 hours of appreciation.
Okay.
From 6 to 6, Friday to Saturday, we have live entertainment, R&B, gospel, dance, double dutch, positive rap.
Right.
I mean, there's so much positive talent in New York, New Jersey. It's unbelievable. Like, you would think you were on Broadway.
Right.
And this is just an open call, come out, make it positive and conscious, and see what happens. And there's no violence in the most violent wars in New York, New Jersey during that time.
Did you start it because you recognized that there was a need for it? Was it because there was so much negativity within that area that you recognized there was a need for something positive?
Can you come up front? Because you kind of like moderator.
I'm sorry.
No, these are good questions.
Because, I mean, I'm just curious as to...
Here, we automatically put value on it.
Right.
That causes an effect. People begin to see, oh, you mean I don't have to go take my clothes off to be on stage? What are they saying? Wow, I want to be like that.
Okay.
And this is what we did. So because, just like you said, I mean, you know, I had quit rap.
Right.
And then around 2005, I believe, like everybody kept telling me, you can't be a conscious artist with yourself. Like I believe that, even though that's one of the biggest lies and fabrications they told. Conscious hip hop was always sold a lot. You know what I'm saying? Lupe had one out last year. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like, even though Fuji's went 10 times flat.
Public Enemy was the first to go platinum in 1 week.
Right. So conscious hip hop is always sold, but I believe I'm right. That was a full-time, basically activist in Pittsburgh. You know, we started an organization in Pittsburgh called One Hood to use hip hop to help bring the violence in the community to close. Like I said, I heard about the Gina 6 situation. I wrote a song just on some, this is what I can do to help, you know, put it on, sent it to all hip hop, they played it, somebody sent it to Michael Basin. Next thing you know, the song's being played all over the country. I'm in Gina, you know what I'm saying, with Michael Basin, Al Sharpton, and it showed me like, man, this is what, that was MySpace. This is when MySpace was popping. So, they put it, you my face spins or listening was popping. But then I was like, wow, I can, like, people want to hear, it really reaffirmed my faith that people do want to hear music that has a message in it. Because so many young people, because if you remember, Gina was mostly high school and college age students that was really repping it. Right. You know what I'm saying? They were like, thank you for making this song. Thank you for putting this selective hip hop. So then, the record labels came to me at that time. You know what I'm saying? But when I actually went to Atlanta for an event, and Farrakhan had this lecture for all the hip hop artists. And he was basically saying a lot of times we get the fame but lose the fortune because we signed to each record label. So that caused me to say, well, even though I would be harder, I'm going to put out my own music and do it myself. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's what we did. We went to YouTube, we went to Facebook, Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. So I'm putting out all these videos, and I was able to, in 2010, leave my job and be a full-time hip-hop artist. You know what I'm saying? Based off of just, but it's a lot harder. I don't have management. You know what I'm saying? I work for Paradise Architect and X-Plan, who's, to me, one of the greatest mentors that I could possibly have. You know what I'm saying? If I ask God for a mentor, you know what I'm saying, this brother has it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a more difficult role, and you don't get, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I show up to a city, ain't no limo. You know what I'm saying? Ain't, all of those accolades like that, but at the same time, just like you said, I have my integrity. So what we did was, we started a media academy in Pittsburgh in collaboration with August Wilson, and now we just got, we're doing it for another 2 years with Carnegie Mellon. And so our thing was, one, we have to teach our youth what these images are, where they come from, how they shape them so they can be media literate. One of the things that we do is we give out the hip-hop magazine, and I say, okay, $20 for whoever can find the first positive image that's not an athlete or Army tag, United States Army tag. And they be trying to find a positive image, and it's like, well, why aren't there? Who owns these magazines? Right. Who owns these things? And this is the more important part, in which you all are doing it, and which is why I got so much love and respect for my brother Raheem. And this, to me, this is the new weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is more powerful than an AK-47 right now. So what we can do, we started creating our own media. And that's the key. We teach these young people how to create their own media. I blog for a website called Black Youth Project every week. You know what I'm saying? It's sponsored by the University of Chicago. I put a video out there every week. You know what I'm saying? When they call Pittsburgh America's most liberal city, even though we have the fourth black city in the country, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we did a series called In Pittsburgh America's most liberal city. We went to the hood, interviewed people, and then asked them about it. So like now you have the ability to be your own media, to be your own record company, and to do all that. That's what we have to do today. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to do today. I want to go to my brother in the back because he had his hand up. Is that Warrior? Is that your brother? My brother Warrior right there will come to preach.
Listen, I just want to say that in what she's saying as well, I don't want to agree or disagree, but I do want to say this. At some point, we have to recognize that those intelligent MCs that you spoke about that have degrees and have information that most don't have, and the less aware ones, they now have money. And they have a certain level of power, even though it's not the power of the corporations that back them, but they have power. Lil Wayne has power, Jay-Z has power, they all have money. And at some point, they've gotten out of the poverty situations that they were trying to get out of by doing whatever means necessary, all right? And now, at what point do we hold them accountable and say, okay, now that you're out of the poverty situation, all right, change the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I had discussed, I'm in Boston. I come from Atlanta and I do some stuff with youth in Atlanta. But I had some discussions with some young people. We do young people over mic. The young people brought up an idea. They said, listen, I said, well, what would stop you from wearing your pants down and seeing all the other stuff? If Lil Wayne did a video, pick up his pants, and tell them the fact that you need to be dressing properly. And I was like, wow, what if that was like a universal thing? All the upper echelon MCs artists did. They got videos and they just changed the dynamic and said, you know what? Fuck the corporations, fuck what they want. We got the power now. We don't pull up our pants. We don't stay light, blue, baby. Look, it's time to like pull the pants and like that. It's time to like, dress like a woman and start looking for other avenues of success and role models. So I just wanted to address that, put that out.
President Douglas said it's easier to build strong men than it is to fix broken men. But you get the concept.
Yeah, and I would say, and I agree. I say first, the first people we got to hold accountable is one another.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before we even go, because we deal with, we got some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even those of us that are so-called conscious. You know what I'm saying? So we got to hold ourselves accountable. That's one of the reasons I wanted to ask the sister to come up here. You know what I'm saying? Because just to have some female representation. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to hold ourselves accountable when it comes to being inclusionary with ourselves. We had a conversation here preach yesterday. Racism amongst ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's what country you come from or what color you are. So to me, first we have to hold ourselves accountable. And I say that to say, I just put a song out called Don't Forget About the Hood, which is basically kind of around the election. And that wasn't the original song that I was going to put out about the election. I was going to put out another song kind of dealing with the racism that happened. And I sent the song out. Like what I do now, before I put music out, I send it to a group of people that will hold me as an artist accountable. You know what I'm saying? So I sent the song to Davey D. Davey D wrote me a song. Y'all don't know Davey D. You know, he is like, man, when it comes to hip-hop politics, for me, his analysis, he's probably the most respected hip-hop journalist. But he's also, you know what I'm saying, like another mentor. He wrote me a long response. And he was saying, brother, I heard you kind of talk about race. What we need is somebody to speak for those people that don't have a voice. That's what we need to do. So he challenged me, you know what I'm saying? Who, you know, because I was going to go Sean, they kind of dealing with race, you know, pro-Obama people out of the push, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like an easier thing. But he challenged me as an artist, so first we got to hold one another accountable, you know what I'm saying? And be supportive of one another because, bro, like, you talk to these artists, I was with David Banner on Thursday. And David Banner is somebody, he had one of the moments. This is what David Banner said. He said he was in a hotel room overseas when this Get Like This, that album that was promoted, last album that was pushing. He was telling us why he hasn't made a lot of music lately. He said when he turned on the TV and saw the representation of black men, he said, we look like monkeys. Wow. This is what he said. And he said he was so hurt because he felt he contributed to how we look. He's like, man, I was contributing to this. So he had one of those moments where he said, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to make sure I represent our people properly. You know what I'm saying? If it means disconnecting myself from a corporation, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have people like that, but to me, just like you said, to me the time it takes to try to get at Lil Wayne, or get at 2 Chainz, or get at T.I., like you could be promoting. Hakeem got Hip Hop Nation mixtape out right now. Like you could be like, yo, Hakeem Green got a Vegas mixtape. You could share that with your friends. You could share myself. You could share Wild Intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Rebel Diaz, who we performing that day. There's so many artists that are doing good things. Let's use our energy to share those and support those artists. And then what happens is, because really, and this is the last thing I'll say, I can be kind of long-winded, you know what I'm saying? So forgive me, right? I have a line in my song where I say, looking at the industry like watching the sunset. You can't tell a rotten piece of music become fresh. So the whole music industry paradigm is dying on its own. As much hype as 2 Chainz got, he's not even gold. As much hype as Nicki Minaj got, she sold almost 2 times less. This current album she did the last album. It's dying. You know what I'm saying right now? All we gotta do is we gotta just be like Noah. We see the rain coming, we just gotta build our own ark. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're doing. To me, that's what Occupy the Hood is doing. We're building our own ark, our own paradigm, and when we support. And I'm living proof because, bro, like I'm a full-time, like I go around the country, I'm a full-time artist. You know what I'm saying? I get paid to perform. know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's a blessing, man. I mean, to be able to speak, to be able to do that in 2012, but then to be able to speak conviction, to speak truth, and to not compromise, I'm in heaven, you know what I'm saying? For real.
Thank you. I just want to say, we always have to understand this is where history comes from, right? Because it is so important for us to understand that we are colonized.
Yes.
Right? And so the misogyny, the propaganda that exists in hip-hop began on 1492 with the sales in America, and he created the image of indigenous people. When the first African was kidnapped on the shores of Africa, the programming, the stereotyping, the negative images, the misogyny, the violence against girls and women began then. And so everything in this country that with us as colonized people, as we know, is a result of that. So we have colonized minds. So you are not going to have people who have a colonized mind to understand what it means to be conscious. So the work is to honor, as an African word, to decolonize the mind. And that is the work, decolonize what we think. And we've had people that have done that. And our people who are familiar with me, I work on behalf of USL, political prisoners and prisoners of war. And said, like let's be, people who founded the Republic of New Africa, said that we are a nation of colonized people in this colony called the United States of America, and we want the right to self-determination, freedom, justice, land, and all of that. And so they work to build that. And so back then, as always, the state and empire come after people, and they do the same thing now. So we have all these entertainments, and I work with young people. So we have all these entertainments that our young people look up to. Says, if Little Wayne pulls up his pants, they pull up their pants. But that's not, we don't need people to follow trends.
Say that.
We need people to understand that we have a colonized mentality. Because I saw people wearing beards, right? And like long full beards all of a sudden. Now this brother wears a beard, my husband said, cool, David has a beard, a lot of people have beards, but all of a sudden I saw all these brothers with beards. So I asked one of my students, I said, is there someone in rap that wears beards? That's what he told me. I was like, damn, so you know when they're doing something. Because instead of our children knowing about our real heroes and heroes, and I'm not just talking about our ancestral heroes and heroes, I'm talking about the living and breathing ones now in our lifetime. They look up. And that's not by accident, right? I bring in refugees, I bring people in so that they know their presence, all of those people, so that they know that there are other ways in order to be. The problem is, the challenge for us is our people don't, some of us, I'm not going to generalize, we don't know any other way but a colonized mentality, and we have to break that. And that's why Occupy the Hood and Hood Week and other things, when people break away from the mainstream, is so important. And I want to make sure you give me music. I find new music because I also do a radio program, and I can play it on the air. So you don't have to.
Elijah, you weren't here. Elijah made a point about maturity, right? And how different things, this young person right here, will be aware. How things are presented to different people. And like, you might go see a TV show that says you're 14-year-old, just because you're 14 doesn't mean you're mature that way, right? Now when you add on oppression, arrested development, right? A systemized keeping us from maturing, right? And then at the same time putting certain ideas in front of us that really takes a mature mind to process and understand. Like that's a hard thing. Like 85% is 85% is 85%. And how do we struggle against the momentum of ignorance? It's hard, but my thing, like Siri said, like I stopped rhyming for a while. I got caught up in the music business because the music business wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. I fell out of love with the culture. But then once I fell back in love with the culture and realized how much power is in the culture, this brother and my oil, all these other rappers and put it down, going back to the Nation anniversary. When we talk about these events, exchange, that's commerce, that's the economy. When we start building our industries for